So ARK Survival Ascended is just around the corner, and I hope everyone is just as excited as I am. It's going to bring back the old school feeling with only being the island map available at launch, and with no cryopods available, that's just going to make things even better. There's going to be a big skill gap from people that are very used to cryopods compared to the people that played back in 2015. But yeah, in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some of the best locations in my opinion, and the best location in my opinion. The spot that I'm going to be showing you that I think is the best spot where you could possibly build, which is not a cave. I'm not going to be showing you any caves because I don't think many people are going to build in caves, just for the fact that there's no cryopods. And yes, there is transmitters, but you're not going to be able to upload or download the dinosaurs. So the only other option is, if you build in a cave, is basically hatching the eggs already inside the cave to be able to get the dinos in there, or have a teleporter placed in there. But I'm going to be showing you the land bases, and we are going to start off with Coro Island. Coro Island was a notorious base spot back in the day. Everyone used to build a big base here. They'd block it all off with behemoth gates going all the way around. You'd have spikes and everything all on Coro Island. But yeah, this is going to be a really good base location to build. A lot of the alpha tribes, or really big tribes, are going to build here. Also, I wonder if the little Easter egg on Coro Island is going to be there in 1.5, which is right here for everyone that didn't know. There is a little Easter egg on Coro Island from, I'm guessing, I think it was a dev saying Morgan R was here in 2015 when the game was released. But yeah, I wonder if that will stay. So the next location is opposite Coro Island, which is Oasis, or the Hidden Oasis, or whatever you want to call it. This is going to be a really good base location too. There is like 1, 2, 3 land entrances, and the rest are on the edges. But everyone used to build here too. They'd have a big massive cube here. They'd have all the breeders, and then they just have little pillboxes around all the edges. This is probably going to be another quite popular spot for the big tribes, as there is plenty of room for breeders. And all in all, it's a pretty solid spot, except for it's basically really open. But now moving on to the next location. The next location is, of course, Blue Orb, Green Orb, and Red Orb, blah de blah. Blue Orb is quite strong, as obviously it's at the top of a mountain and it's hard to gain access on land. So just imagine wanting to come and raid Blue Orb and you having to walk stegos up here or picking them with Quetzals. It's going to be a really painful raid, especially if you have them built like they do on official, with just a bunch of spam dino gates and just turrets dotted everywhere. It's going to be really ace to raid. And you also, of course, you have your own obelisk. Not that it's going to be used for very much except for starting boss fights, but this would be a very viable spot. But if you build here, you probably get wiped by the bigger tribes. So moving on to the next location. This location, in my opinion, is probably the best location you could probably build in for 1.5. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you have your base here and you have your little outposts all along here, you're controlling the polyspawns. Obviously, penguins is going to be the only way to gather polymer on 1.5. So if you're controlling the penguins and who gets them, you're going to be advancing a lot more faster than the rest of the tribes. The only downside to building this base is you don't really have much room. Yeah, you have a bit under here, but because you're down here, your weakness is getting raided by a raft. Your bottom can get raided by a raft if you have turrets close to the water, so that would be quite easy. But other than that, getting up here and actually soaking would be a task. If you have a bunch of spam and stuff, then they're not going to be able to build up or Fortnite. The only way they're going to be able to raid that is dropping stegos. So it will be a pretty hard raid if you do build it properly. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really popular base location. Then of course you've got the other iceberg over here. This is really popular. Again, you're controlling the penguin spawns, so not many people are going to be able to farm poly. The only way they're going to get polymer is by obsidian and cemented paste, which nobody wants to do. Everyone wants to get organic polymer and get it the fastest way. Then right next door you have the land bridge. I don't know, this doesn't really have a name. It's just a bridge. This would be good for like a solo or duo base spot. Be quite nice. Got a bit of room underneath. People have behemoth gates going around for your water tames and all that kind of jazz. I'm just not too sure how it's going to work with 1.5, but I'm going off what I've been told and stuff. But I don't think many people are going to build in caves. Then of course you have this spot. I don't really know what to call this spot, but a lot of people used to build here back in 2015. You'd have all of this behemoth gated off. You'd have so much room. You just have towers and turret towers just dotted everywhere. The reason why a lot of people liked building here too is because the area is really flat, so it's kind of really easy to build on this area. But yeah, I think this is going to be another popular spot. And then right next door, again, because Island is so small, you have this. Oh, gone way past it. You have this little cliff edge. I used to build here back in 2015, and it was a really solid spot. So I'd have my base here. I'd have it all blocked off on the edges, and then I'd have the wall. I'd have like a wall here going across the other end. I'd have all my Rexes and Gigas and stuff. And then at the back, I'd have behemoth gates going around all the way around the back. And then I'd have my little water pen for my Moses and my plesiosaurs and all that kind of stuff. And then because I had this, I'd have ichthyes and stuff. And then I was able to go straight down, which is right at the back of the cliff. And right outside this pearl cave, which is right here, there is a drop spawn. I think the drop spawns roughly like here. There's a loot crate that spawns there that you can constantly farm. And then obviously you have pearl caves. These are going to be pretty popular too. But the only problem with building in these is you're going to have to hatch a lot of things inside them. Except for Spinos. Spinos can come down here. But stuff like Gigas and stuff, you're going to have to hatch them in there, which is going to be pretty AIDS. Another really popular spot would be Plateau. I think that's what everyone used to call it, as Plateau. You'd have, I think there's 2 entrances to here. There's like a bridge thing there. And there's a bridge thing here. This, back in 2015, used to be like, I can't explain it. It was like a boss thing. In the middle, you'd have statues of all the bosses and stuff. But once the Redwoods conversion came in, then it turned like this, and a lot of people started to build here. The only issue with building here is you're going to have a lot of bobs that are going to be down here messing around. So just be aware of that, or your ass is going to get clubbed out day one. But it's a nice open area, and yeah, this will be a nice build too. And then you have the one and only Stonehenge. This again was a really popular spot. You'd have your little bases on top of these, and you'd have it all behemoth gated off. This was an AIDS raid back in the day. I remember raiding a few of these, and these were really annoying to raid. But I just can't wait to see if anyone builds in any of these spots, because it's going to bring back so many memories. And let's not forget about Herbivore Island. This is going to be eaten up by so many tribes. A lot of tribes are going to be fighting for this space spot. But the only weakness with this is, of course, the water. So if you've got your towers and stuff and a raft comes up, the raft can just blow your towers. So you got to make sure you place your towers very well, or else they're just going to get cheesed. But if you build it well, Herbivore Island can be really strong, as there's not going to be all the dinos in the game available, so raiding metas are going to be very limited. But I think people are going to make it work. We also have Mushroom Pillar. This is a very popular spot. Still to this day, people build here. This spot will never get old. You can build on top of here, and it would be quite a hard raid if you build it properly. All down below, you can have your behemoth gates with all your Gigas and your Rexes and whatever else they're adding. So yeah, you got a lot of room, and also you have another pillar right next door, which is really flat. A lot of people like building here too. So this area is going to be massive, and you can block it all off and just basically constantly tame all the Rexes, because this is a Rex spawn. And it is also an Alpha Raptor spawn, so you can get some free levels. Again, I think this is going to be a really popular spot on ASA launch. So if you're going to want this spot, you're going to have to claim this one quick. I wouldn't really call this a base location, but I think some people might try building here. This is a really massive area, and it's all really flat. So I think some tribes might try building here and build something absolutely massive. Just because it's really flat, it makes it a really good base location. The only problem is you can basically get attacked from all sides. So you got to make sure your defenses are strong on all sides and have no weak points. Other than that, you have your metal mountains, obsidian mountains, but you can build here. I wouldn't call it a main base, but you could have like a little outpost here. But the only problem with building a little base or a little outpost here is you're going to be a big target, because you're hogging up the metal spawns and you're not letting other people farm it. And you're also blocking the spawns, so they're not respawning back. So everyone's just going to be wanting to wipe you, and you're going to be a very big target. Other than that, I can't really think of any more viable base locations that people are going to build. If you guys think I've missed something, then comment down below in the description, but I don't really think I've missed any base locations that are really popular from 2015 that are going to be used in today's age on 1.5. Maybe here actually. A lot of people liked building here, especially building on the end of that. But apart from that, I can't really think of any more. Actually, there is one more over here. This was a really big popular spot, and this is right here. The amount of raids that I saw happen here and the amount of Quetzal bases that were here were ridiculous. Back in the day on console, a lot of official servers were bugged. So on this spot right here at the end, there was like an invisible Quetzal, like right here. And this invisible Quetzal would drop Quetzal eggs. And obviously for Quetzal eggs, you needed Quetzal eggs to make kibble to be able to tame Rexes. So if you come here, you'd be able to collect like a bunch of Quetzal eggs. I'm not too sure if it was just my official server that was bugged. But in 2015, yeah, there was a Quetzal bug thing here where they were just froze. They were invisible, but they were dropping Quetzal eggs. It was really weird. If you guys had that same issue, if you were on console back in 2015, let me know, because that was a really weird bug. But with that being said, boys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. Let me know down in the comments where you think people are going to build, and let me know your favorite base location from today's video. And with that being said, if you want any more 1.5 updates or any news or anything like that, let me know down in the comments also what you want to see. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.